This that real talk, that southern drawl. Q ball reacts, he gon' watch us brawl. We making moves, they stand and stare. Put your hands up, feel it in the air.
Of course, you see what's going on in the news. It's all over YouTube. It's all over social media, period. Instagram, TikTok. This situation with Nolan Wells. Trent Out Loud is getting ready to break down the federal statutes of why a lot of these laws have been ignored, put to the side. There have been no arrests. Let's jump straight into it. This is about to be crazy.
18 USC section 1512 states tampering with evidence, aka holding back Nolan's phone from his parents and the investigation, is a federal crime punishable in jail for up to 20 years. Nolan Wells' best friend Javon spoke yesterday with TMZ and confirmed that the police have not yet questioned him, proving the police are lying to us when they say they have conducted an investigation and have found no foul play. How are you going to investigate and not talk to Nolan's best friend?
The best
Judge
friends know
Ashley
everything,
Cole,
bro.
AKA
The best friends know everything, bro. They know more than the family knows. They know the person for who they really are. The best friends do. They do all the dirt with them. Why wouldn't you investigate them first? This is not right, bro.
Warren's stepmama. You have broken the law, and you too will be going to jail along with those 3 white boys. Yesterday, I gave y'all 4 brand new pieces of evidence that proves that these 3 white boys need to be arrested. It's been 24 hours, and I haven't heard of no arrest yet. Today, I'm gonna give you guys 3 more pieces of evidence. If I don't hear an arrest within the next 48 hours, I'm calling for a protest.
Hey.
If y'all thought I was on one yesterday, wait till you watch this entire show. Sit back, relax. I'm gonna tell you everything you need to know, and then you will all agree with me that these 3 white boys and the judge need to be arrested. Sit back, relax. I'll tell you everything you need to know.
Let's
I'll
go.
hand it off to you, the Out Louders, so let me know what you think in the comment section below. I would like to draw your attention to the article beside me. 18 USA Code Section 1512, tampering with a witness, victim, or an informant. And that could mean a cell phone that has critical information when it comes to Nolan Xavier Wells. Let's skip down to Section C. Let's get the definition of what tampering is. If you alter, if you destroy, aka delete Snapchat messages, if you manipulate or conceal a record, document, or other objects, or attempt to do so with the intent to impair the object's integrity, meaning if you delete direct messages off of his Snapchat, if you delete pictures, if you delete videos, that is tampering, and you could go to jail for 20 years. With the intent to impair the object's integrity or availability for use in an official proceeding. Please pay attention to the video that I'm about to play for you and listen carefully.
What are the consequences of deleting text messages, social media posts, social media accounts, or privatizing social media accounts, deleting Snapchats, photos, video off a person's phone when there's an ongoing investigation that might even lead to a criminal proceeding? While they did not bring him home, they brought Nolan Wells' phone home. Absent from that phone was the type of photos, videos, Snapchats, etc. that one would come to expect from an 18-year-old boy. Individuals to have last had custody of that phone wasn't Nolan Wells, but the very people who have failed to provide a satisfactory explanation of his disappearance.
Yeah, these kids is always on their phones, and they always like going live and taking pictures and making videos. So like, it's crazy how all this stuff was missing.
Has started to raise questions about whether or not some of this evidence may have been deleted. It is a federal crime punishable by up to 20 years in jail for anyone to tamper with evidence that would be used in a criminal proceeding. It is a crime punishable by up to 20 years in jail to alter, destroy, mutilate, or conceal a record, document, or other object, or an attempt to do so with the intent to impair the object's integrity or availability for use in an official proceeding. So that's really important to note. You do not need to actually succeed in deleting, concealing, or destroying evidence. An attempt to do so can lead to the same punishment, 20 years in jail. A person's social media account, a social media post, even a DM or a comment, all of those things would fall under Section 1512. Not only that, if you are a defendant in, say, a murder trial or a conspiracy for a murder trial, the fact that you destroyed evidence will lead to an inference by the jury of your guilt. The judge can literally instruct the jury that the fact that you destroyed evidence is itself evidence of consciousness of guilt.
All right, two things that are very important to point out in that video I just played for you. You do not need to succeed. You just need to attempt.
Try. Just try.
So, why is that important? Yesterday's video, which for those who haven't seen it, I'm going to put it in the comment section. I'll pin it to the top. Please see it and then come back to this video. Yesterday, Nolan's mother confirmed that when Warren called her and said, Nolan is missing, we don't know where he is, he never said anything about having Nolan's cell phone in his home. Nolan's mom had to tell Michael Strahan on Good Morning America the only way that she was able to find the phone is when she went on Info 360, I think its name, or on Snapchat, and they had to pin the phone and find out that it was in Warren's home. So Warren had Nolan's phone and didn't tell anybody. They pinned it. Nolan's mom had to send her friend to go and pick it up.
Crazy.
That's concealing evidence. That's guilt. So whether he deleted or not, the fact that he's concealing it, you're tampering, you're impeding investigation. That is a crime. So all the 4 pieces of evidence that I showed you yesterday, that was enough to arrest him. If you didn't even agree with that, I just showed you proof in the criminal code, in the justice system, United States of America, which is grounds for an arrest. This is grounds for guilt, and it's punishable up until 20 years. Why isn't he not arrested? You all can Google this criminal code. It's there on the internet for everybody. Why has Warren not been arrested when we have a fact? It's not up for discussion.
Yeah.
It is a fact that they had to pin Nolan's phone to find out his phone was there. That is tampering with evidence. We don't need to, he doesn't need to have deleted a message or a picture or anything. You attempted to conceal the phone.
Yeah.
That is an indirect admission of guilt. You heard what a judge could tell a jury. The fact that you acted in any way guilty is enough to prove you guilty in the court of law. And this is the beauty of the United States of America. We are governed by laws. There's no kings and queens in here. So answer me this. Why isn't Warren arrested? I just proved to you beyond a reasonable doubt. Okay, let's move on to my second piece of evidence. Javon, who is Nolan's best friend, did an interview with TMZ yesterday. And to me, he set off a bombshell, which nobody is discussing. And the reason why nobody's discussing it is because the powers that be would like to suppress it. Well, you're not going to suppress this channel. Before I play the video for you, I just want to rewind a few days ago when the headlines internationally were the cops have found no evidence of a crime in Nolan Wells' passing. That was a headline. We played clips of that for you with the sheriff saying, we have questioned, we have talked to people, we haven't found anything out. Listen to what Javon has said. TMZ, Friday, this is 3 days after the police say that they are conducting a thorough investigation. Listen to this.
I'm curious if the police have, I know they said they're still investigating. Did any investigators ever speak to you about what you saw that day?
No, sir.
Okay.
Cops have not talked to you yet.
No, sir.
I'll tell you why I'm surprised.
Oh, man.
Because you knew Nolan well. It's odd to me.
Just to gather information.
Yeah, that the cops wouldn't have contacted you. Yeah.
What kind of investigation
Oh, wow.
is the Mississippi Police Force doing that does not involve Nolan Xavier's Wells' best friend.
Man, bro. I
It's
don't
not
get
only
it.
his best friend. Javon was there on Horn Island.
Right.
Javon is not just his best friend. Javon is a key witness. He should be the first person that you interview, and if not, at least one of the top 10 people that you interview.
Right.
After the 3 white boys and Katie.
Yeah.
How can you
Should've been
not
next.
have gone through Javon's phone, Javon's house? This is
Diabolical.
This is
That's what it is.
ridiculous.
Yeah. It's
And
diabolical,
this
bro.
is proof of my video yesterday with mountain of evidence. And even videos that I've done prior. This whole entire week I've been covering this case. How
This is
much
not a
more
good-
proof do you need that this is
It's
a
not a
corrupt
good
system?
sign. Starting off is not a good sign. Whenever we watch these crimes unfold, when they start withholding evidence, when they don't arrest the people that should be arrested according to the law, this is when we see injustice happening.
To mention the history of Mississippi, which we all know. But the fact that the police have not questioned Javon should be, to me, the biggest indication that this is not even just a cover-up anymore.
Yeah.
That this is just the audaciousness of the police force to allow Javon to go out not questioned and have him talk about it. They don't care. They
This
don't
is
care.
the power, bro, that judges
They
hold.
don't care.
This is part of the power that judges hold. When crimes happen with their families, they're swept under the rug. That's just, it is what it is, unfortunately. And we're watching it unfold. And it happens to be a black boy named Nolan Wells. But these things happen all the time in little cities and big cities all over the United States, bro. And probably all over the world.
Just to show you how the judicial system over in Mississippi and the police force are not caring, I'm now going to show you how a judge in Mississippi, Warren's stepmama, broke the law when she put out her statement earlier this week. For those of you who've been following me all week, you remember this statement. If I'm not mistaken, I think it came out on a Tuesday. I didn't want to read the whole thing. I'm not going to read the whole thing again because it's a lot of like pointing fingers and blaming and making excuses for deleting Instagram pages. Y'all can pause it and read it if you want. I highlighted some key events about her putting out an alibi for her son, Warren, and pointing the fingers at other people. And I also said that she is poisoning the potential jury pool, which alone is breaking the law. But I'm going to play a video for you from a judge in the same county that is showing you and agreeing with me that she's poisoning the jury pool, but not only that, that she's breaking the law. The fact that she put out this statement on this kind of presentation that looks like it's an official presentation with the scale of justices
The
underneath,
letterhead.
and it looks like it's something official, that alone is not law-abiding. But like I just said to you, this is Mississippi. This is how to get down. And nobody is going to stop them. Listen to the video.
Judge Ashley Cole, the stepmother of Warren Hudson, issued a statement, and it is problematic. I want to focus on how the law is implicated in some of the things that she said. Canon 2B of the Mississippi Canons of Judicial Conduct says, judges shall not allow their family, social, or other relationships to influence the judge's judicial conduct or judgment. Judges shall not lend the prestige of their offices to advance the private interests of the judges or others. Now, take note of the fact that she didn't use official court letterhead here. It might as well have been. She's advertising the fact that she's a judge. There's a picture in the courtroom, and at the bottom she has the scales of justice. Best practice would have been to say nothing. She could have used personal stationary letterhead. She could have just used her name, but instead she implicated her office. I'm a judge. I live in this community. I care about justice. A judge must not testify voluntarily as a character witness, because to do so may lend the prestige of the judicial office in support of the party for whom the judge testifies. So she can't be a character witness. Maybe she can be a fact witness if she's subpoenaed. Canon 3B9. A judge shall not, while a proceeding is pending or impending in any court, make any public comment that might reasonably be expected to affect its outcome or impair its fairness, I would argue that she's poisoning the jury pool. Canon 4. A judge shall so conduct the judge's extrajudicial activities as to minimize the risk of conflict with judicial obligations. Like I said, there's lots of problems with the statement. Some are substantive. I'm going to talk about those later. A lot of them are legal, but you should know that the fact that the canons have been violated doesn't mean automatically that the judge is going to be disciplined for them. Someone has to actually report those violations so that it can be investigated by the commission. And that report would need to be made to the Mississippi Commission on Judicial Performance, which has a website where you can locate report forms and information on how to go about making that report.
There you have it, folks. I gave you 4 pieces of brand new evidence yesterday, pinned below this video. Now we have 3 more pieces of evidence. That is 7. Even if you don't agree with 2 of them, 3 of them, there must be one of the 7 that you believe are grounds for an arrest. Y'all know me unfair. I'm the most fairest person on this internet. I'm not even talking about guilt, although I do believe they're guilty. Let's not even talk about that. Let's wait for the judicial system to play out.
Yeah.
Please, in the comment section, I challenge anybody to dare argue with me.
No, for real. And look at this letter or statement or whatever you want to call this thing that she put out, right? She's not on Facebook anymore, right? She deactivated her account. But if you see, you go down to right here. It says, I graduated high school with Christine Wells Wansley, who is the mother of Nolan Wells, right? This, by the way, has nothing to do with Nolan Wells' disappearance for a moment and then his reappearance and eventually murder. What does that have to do? The fact that you went to high school with this chick. It's called deflection. I'm gonna tell you what it's got to do. It's called deflection, and she's trying to basically win over the jurors and the public, all while saying, hey, I went to high school with her. Like we were cool. She didn't even say we were cool. It ain't like y'all was best friends. She said, I went to high school with her. She quoted, and I read, we are from the same community. I graduated high school with Christine Wansley. So you don't even have no ties to her, really. You just remember her name from high school. You ask me, this could have went deeper. Actually, this could have went a little deeper. What if there was a beef there? But hey, we're not going to recreate a story. We're looking at the facts. She said, I fear for the safety of my child and my children. My husband and I have 6 children and we covered their privacy. No, you didn't want to get the hate mail. You didn't want to get the hate messages on Facebook, on Instagram, on social media, period. You didn't want to see it. You don't want to see and hear the truth from the public because you know that you're wrong. You know that what your family did and is doing is wrong. You know the fact that you're not even arrested is wrong. You're a judge. You put it right here in the letterhead. Judge Ashley Cole. You're a judge. How are you going to hold people to a certain standard when they come in your courtroom when you won't even hold your own family to the same standard? Crazy work. We're going to get back into it.
The judicial system to play out. Please, in the comment section, I challenge anybody to dare argue with me that one of these 3 boys, if not at least Warren, to be arrested. To be arrested. With
Just
these
arrested.
3 pieces of evidence I just presented to you. There is, I guarantee I'll be refreshing this comment section for the next 48 hours to see one person that has a challenging argument on why 7 of my points over the past 24 hours does not deem for at least one, if not all 3 boys to be arrested. We told you yesterday, and I played the video where Nolan's father told you that he went to one of the boys' house to get Nolan's car. Jax
Crazy.
opened the door and was like, yo, I don't know where the keys are. Straight up lying. I don't know.
That's because they were trying to get rid of something in that car. They were trying to either clean it, just completely get rid of whatever evidence was in that car that would tie them to this murder.
Where the keys are? What are you talking about? Sir? No, I don't know. A girl had to call one of the guys to say like, yo, Jax is lying. I know exactly where his keys are. The keys are on top of the Xbox. Jax had no choice but to go back inside, go to the Xbox, and hand Nolan's father his keys.
Oh
What's
my
he hiding
God,
in the
bro.
car?
Yeah, for real.
And that too, now that I
Allegedly, they said they were cleaning the car out. Allegedly.
think about it, that might be grounds for tampering too. Because you're
Might be.
obstructing. You're
Yeah.
holding back. Once there's an investigation, it is your duty to put forth every single thing to help the investigation. And holding back keys, holding back the car, calling Nolan's parents and saying, I don't know where he is. We don't know nothing, sir. While his phone is in your back pocket, nobody on this internet can tell me that that's not grounds for an arrest.
Facts. And when situations like this happen, a lot of times those families get together. Those rich families get together and they talk. They have a conversation about what's going to be said, what's going to be done. Okay, you guys need to delete your social medias. Don't talk to anybody. Everybody just lay low, stay in the house for a little while for your safety. Blah, blah. Like there's a whole like professional meeting that goes on, bro. And I think a lot of people don't understand like where we're at. We got to understand where we're at right now. They haven't been arrested for anything. Nobody. No arrests at all. But you got a grieving family up here. With a son and a promising athlete in Nolan Wells. Murdered. Unalived. And nobody has any answers.
I'm not even saying a charge. That is grounds for an arrest. And there is charges, and there was reason to go to court. But let's focus on the arrest. And I'm gonna double down on this, like I said at the beginning of this video. We, the people, and this is the whole point why you guys are watching this on YouTube. This is new media. This is not legacy media. This is not Fox. This is not CNN. We say what y'all are thinking.
And then here's the thing. She said in the document that she posted or had somebody post, yes, I deactivated my Facebook account given the very heightened emotional state of social media right now. You doggone right. Because your son is the reason why there is a heightened emotional state of social media right now. Because what you guys have done and are doing is the reason why everything and everyone is in an uproar. And then mentioning how you're mourning for the family and you're praying for the family, trying to pull on the heartstrings of Christians and believers. Nobody's falling for it, okay? We need some arrests. We need something to happen. We need justice to be served. She also goes on to say no one in our family is trying to in any way to impede with the investigation by law enforcement or to otherwise hamper the family and law enforcement's quest for answers. When you were hiding the phone, when you guys were hiding the phone, when you were hiding the keys, but the car sitting outside, when the family wasn't notified immediately after Nolan went missing. What do you mean you're not trying to impede with the investigation? That's exactly what you did. When you're deleting messages off of Snapchat, probably the photo library, and the only reason they got the phone, period, is because Nolan's mom pinged it on Life 360, which is the only reason why they was able to probably salvage and save some of the evidence that is still on there. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't have got nothing. If we would have let them have another day or 2 or 3 with that phone, there's no telling what we would have found. Probably nothing. It also goes on to say Warren was interviewed by the Jackson County Sheriff's Department and cooperated fully. She did not mention the fact that he had his phone, he had the keys. If he did mention, let's say he did mention it, why wasn't there an arrest? So I'm guessing they came to the house. They said he was interviewed, so they came over to the house and they just left. After they got their answers, they left. Instead of taking him into custody, knowing that, hey, you're harboring evidence in an investigation. According to the statute that Trent Out Loud just posted, you're tampering with evidence. And he was not arrested. Oh, she's so good with words. And she's so witty with words, right? She says, I apologize if anyone was offended that I deleted my social media. There were no nefarious motivations in my deleting my social media. A hit dog gonna holler every time. Guilty, you're gonna start trying to delete stuff. You're gonna start trying to deactivate accounts. You may not be guilty of a crime, but your son knew exactly what was going on that boating trip. Anyway, man, that's it, man. I've been talking too long, bro. This can go on for 2 hours. Please comment down below what you guys think is going on in this situation. Are y'all with the police department? Do y'all think justice is being served? Are you with the Nolan Wells family? Do you feel like justice needs to be served? What do you think about Trent Out Loud's video? Let me know down in the comments, man. But that's it. That's all I got to say. It's your boy Q. I'm out without further ado.
Must wake up, get to it, ain't nothing about it. The only way to it is do it, no way around it. Before that, we cruising like the Caribbean with mileage. I'ma always be solid. I'm a young brother with knowledge. Go do the science, dog. Always, I'm like a pilot, dog. Look at my eyes, I'm tired, dog. The time that it takes, I made for the space.